Namaste yogis, welcome to Yoga and You. My name is Pallavi Rajankar and today we're going to be doing a class on yoga for stress relief, a much needed topic. I'll give you a little bit of an introduction and then we'll go into our asana practice. So with a lot of us who have chronic anxiety or chronic stress, it means that our sympathetic nervous system is in overdrive. The sympathetic nervous system is the one that is the fight, flight or freeze response. So when we are constantly perceiving any small thing as a threat, this system flares up, right? Which means that we're not able to relax, we're not able to come back to like a calm state of mind, we're not able to go to sleep at a normal pace. Which also means that we have an underactive parasympathetic nervous system. Now, what is a parasympathetic nervous system? It's the rest and digest feature of our body, which says, okay, you've gotten a stress, you've dealt with the stress, you're able to come back down, you're able to regulate your emotions, and then you're able to rest, you're able to digest. Now, with a lot of us having an overactive sympathetic nervous system, we're not able to come back to a normal state of mind. So today our asanas are going to hopefully put us in a less stressed state by focusing on the nervous system. Now, why is yoga helpful for stress relief? It's because it focuses on three main aspects of stress relief. One is the vagus nerve that helps us regulate the nervous system. The other is meditation, which helps us just stay still in the moment. And the third one is diaphragmatic breathing, which allows us to use our full lung capacity for breath. So we're going to incorporate all of these principles into our yoga practice. So ready? We're first going to start with some neck stretches because that's where the vagus nerve is connected to our facial nerves. Okay, so we're going to start. You can place the left palm on your left knee, right palm to your left ear, and then gently till the right ear towards the right shoulder. Instead of curling the shoulder inwards, I want you to roll it outwards. If possible, look up to the ceiling and bring the right ear towards the right shoulder, but at the same time drop the right shoulder down. If possible, close the eyes. Notice what tension, what tightness is living in the neck. Staying here for another 4 breath cycles. I'm making a conscious effort not to talk too much in this video so that you're able to rest in that silence for another 2 counts. And for 1, gently, if you have a sensitive neck, use your palm to bring your head back to center, and we'll do it on the opposite side. So right hand to right knee, left hand to right ear. As you slowly bring your ear towards the shoulders, drop both the shoulders down away from the ears. You'll feel this long stretch right from behind the ear up to the shoulder also sometimes. A lot of us hold a lot of stress in our shoulders, and now is the time to release that out. If you have a sensitive neck, don't pull too much. Meet your body wherever it's at. Don't push yourself beyond a limit. Staying here for another 3 breath cycles. Close your eyes if that's accessible to you. If you want, you can get a nice playlist going in the background for another 2 and for 1. Now from here, gently take both hands, interlace your fingers, keep it behind your head, back remains straight, okay? The spine is still erect. You're just gently bringing your chin to your chest, elbows come closer together. Forehead is coming closer to the earth, your chin is into the chest. You're rounding the back, staying here for another 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Very gently curl out of this pose. And we're going to come into our all fours. So place the palms in front of you. Slowly come onto your knees. Rest in a comfortable all fours. Make sure you've got this position right. So the ankles and the knees are in one straight line. The knees and the hips are in one straight line. The shoulders, elbows, wrist in one straight line. We're going to do some cat and cows to just stretch out the back. Okay, so ready? Inhale, look up to the ceiling, dropping the belly button down to the floor. Exhale, dome the back, chin to the chest, gaze at the belly button. Few more times. Inhale, look up to the ceiling. And exhale. Allow the shoulders to go apart. We're doing that 2 more times. Inhale, look up, really feel the stomach muscles stretch. And exhale, one last time. Really feel any tension that's being built up in the back. Look up to the ceiling. And exhale, gaze to your belly button. Come back into neutral. Take a moment here to just notice how that pose felt on the spine. And we're next going to go into puppy pose. Okay, so from here, we're just going to walk our palms forward. Remember, the hips stay exactly where it is, in line with the knees. But the palms walk forward until the chest and the chin can come down to the floor. If this is not accessible to you, you can put your forehead on the floor. And if this is also quite not comfortable, you can put a pillow or a block underneath your chest. So coming into puppy pose, staying here for another 5. 4, 4. For 3. 4, 2. And for 1. Take your time to slowly walk out of this pose. Again, once again, come into all fours, recoil for just a second. And then from here, cross the feet behind you, sit back, and then stretch the legs in front of you. Okay, now remember, while we're doing these poses, the intention of these poses is for stress relief. Okay, so whenever you feel like you need some assistance in the pose, I want you to grab your props. Props can be blocks, bolsters. If you don't have yoga props, you can use books or boxes from your home. Place it in front of you. Use the props as support. There's no harm, there's no ego hurt in this. Okay, so from here, we're not going to do a forward fold, but instead we're going to keep our hands on either side of the hip to just first lengthen the spine. Feet are pointed up to the ceiling. Your legs are active. Okay, from here, walk the palms forward as much as you can, and then place the palms facing the sky, and then just drop down. Remember, we're not trying to make an active effort to push or pull. Some of you might be right down to the floor, and some of you might be here. Wherever you are, it's okay. Palms up to the ceiling, just forward fold. With some of the poses, we're going very against the grain of what we've been taught to push and go deeper into the pose. Right now, we're just meeting ourselves where we are and going a little bit further. So notice whether you're holding tension in the neck. I want you to release the head down. If you want, you can keep a block in between your knees and rest your head on it. If not, stay exactly as I am. For another 4. If you have a job where you're seated the whole day, you'll feel that on your back. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Slowly taking your time, don't whip out of the pose. Allow the blood to evenly circulate. And then gently bring your hips down towards the center of the mat. Feet are coming down. Allow your back to rest on the mat. We're going to take some constructive rest. Okay, so this is a passive pose in yoga. Allow your feet to go onto either side of the mat. And then just adjust your hips. Tuck the pelvis inwards up to the sky. Adjust so that allow the knees to rest onto each other. Palms facing the ceiling. Bring your eyes to a close and make it a conscious effort to see if your lower back is off the floor. If your lower back is off the floor, we want to avoid that and bring the entire spine flat. So just adjust your lower hip so that your pelvis is tilting upwards and bring the entire spine down to the floor so there's no gap in between the spine and you. Once you achieve that, hands come onto either side of the body, knees touching, eyes closed, and take some constructive rest. In yoga, something like this is also called recoil, where we're noticing the state of our bodies and the effect the poses are having on our body. So taking 5 breath cycles here. If the lower back is again coming off the floor, adjust it. Relax the head and neck as well. For 4. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Gently bringing your legs back down. So for the next pose is especially good for stress relief. You're going to need a chair. If you're comfortable with the yoga practice, you can do this directly above the wall where your back is on the floor and your legs are on the wall. But I'm going to show you a beginner version of that where you allow your back to come onto the floor. Place your legs and your feet on a chair that's at a comfortable height. Adjust so that they're both at a 90-degree angle. Bringing your back down to the floor and stay for about 5 breath cycles. Once again, trying to bring your spine on the floor. This pose is supposed to be great for blood flow towards the brain. So your brain has more blood, more oxygen to work with and helps with emotional regulation. Stay here for another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come out of the pose. There is no rush. You can move the chair aside so that you're not going to need it anymore. And we're going to go into a supine twist. So coming back into a lying down posture, hands interlace, right knee into the chest. Staying here for a second, just squeezing the knee towards the shoulder as you bring your right knee to the left side of the mat, making sure your right shoulder is on the floor, gaze towards your right fingertips, left hand is on the right knee, bringing your right knee closer to the floor. Staying here for 5, 4, another 3 breath cycles at your own pace. And 4. Slowly coming back to center, same thing on the opposite side. Interlace the hands below the knee. Bring the knee into the chest as close as possible. And then the right hand comes to the left knee. As you bring the left knee closer down to the floor, making sure your left shoulder is glued to the earth and your gaze or your drishti will come onto your left fingertips.
Staying here for another 5 breath cycles. For 3. For 2. And for 1. Slowly bringing your leg back to center. Hands on either side, palms facing the ceiling. Rest into your final shavasana. You can put on some music and take it for as long as you like. We're just going to stay here for another minute or 2. But you can go on for longer if that's what your body needs. If you are ready to come out of the pose, you can gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, curling on to one side. And very slowly and gently allow your body to come off the floor and back into seated. If you need to take shavasana for a longer period of time, please do. If not, we'll end our practice here. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.